Hi, I'm Mark with Crown and Caliber, and welcome to Hidden Gems. We see complications in watches all the time. There are those we see so often they become mundane almost, like the chronograph. There's the more exotic of Ulysses and Ardennes, and then there's the eccentric equation of times. Then there are the ones we never see happen, like the jump minute. It's a complication that is almost never done in the history of watchmaking. Today, we have the IWC tribute to Pallweber. So let's get into it. So the IWC tribute to Pallweber is named after Joseph Pallweber, an Austrian mechanic and engineer from the late 1800s. And he created the first jump hour, jump minute complication in a pocket watch. And he sold the movement to a lot of different people, but IWC was the main producer of it. It was very popular for a very short time. About 20,000 pocket watches were made in about a 5-year span. And the big limitation to it was that it couldn't go a full day without needing rewinding. The power required just wasn't there in a pocket watch. And I think it's important that we get into why that is. Let's start with the date wheel. Most watches we know have some sort of date wheel on them. And once a day, that date wheel has to change. For that to happen, there's a lot of power requirement. You have to build up power in the movement. You have to suddenly instantaneously move this wheel and then instantaneously stop it. And that's a lot of abuse on a watch. These are tiny little parts, and to keep doing that to a watch takes a lot out of it. And that's why not even a lot of date wheels do an instant change. And imagine what it takes to do that, but do it 1,400 times a day. That's what a jump minute does. It has to build up that power, release it, and stop it over 1,400 times. It does in one day what a typical watch with a date wheel does in just under 4 years. That's a lot of abuse on a system. That's a lot of abuse for any watch to take and then bring it down to the scale of a wristwatch. That's a lot of engineering to get over. I think most of us are familiar with the A. Lange & Söhne Zeitwerk. It is the most famous serial produced jump hour, jump minute watch. And it uses a very complicated system. It's called a remontoire system to build up power and then release it immediately. And then uses an air brake system to literally slow down the movement so when it hits, it doesn't hurt the movement as much. And with all that engineering, all that know-how, 36-hour power reserve. That's good, and that's serviceable, and for this kind of complication, it's impressive. But then IWC comes along and puts 60 hours of power reserve in it. Let's put that in perspective real quick. The over 1,400 jumps it does a day, it will do as many jumps as a typical date wheel watch does in just shy of 10 years. You're coming up on possibly your second service on that watch, and this has only done a full wind. What is required to take that abuse is impressive. This watch is built like a tank, and then in order to do the extra power reserve, it actually has 2 complete going trains in the watch. One that just deals with the timekeeping. It runs the second hand, but every time it hits 12, the entire second train comes in that jumps all of the jump hours and jump minute wheels. And they're connected by a cam system that's right in the center, but it's an extremely complicated system that involves multiple cams, Maltese cross wheels in order to get everything to just line up correctly. And not only is it impressive that they were able to do all of this, but then they made only 775 movements. They didn't even continue this on. They went, look at what we can do, and we're not even going to overdo it. We're going to create a limited run of these to show off what we can do and to show tribute to an old thing we used to do and create this fantastic complication that has honestly never been done to this level. It's never been done in a way that actually lasts a normal, usable amount of time like every other wristwatch we're used to. I think it's incredible what they've done. And that's why, to me, the IWC Pallweber is a hidden gem. So I love looking for hidden gems. It's pretty much what I do all day. But if there's anything out there that you think that we should spend a little extra time on, let us know down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Hidden Gems.